Rise and shine. Hello everyone, hello world, and welcome to another episode of Winds of Change. I've been up for about 5 minutes, and we are going to be starting the next quest. So we're going to go speak to Kaineng. Which, I remember during part 3, I was speaking to someone who thought it could have been a reference to Colin Johansson, but I think they said that that was a little bit too, like, left field. Anyway, yeah, you can come speak to him for the next quest. Like I said yesterday, and the day before, really, don't expect this to be just another bit of filler quest while we wait for something interesting to happen with Miku. We've kind of seen the Ministry of Purity finish their thing. I guess the idea is that Reiko has had her next rally, but we don't actually get to see that on screen. And now they've kind of chosen their next target, and there's a big jump here, okay? The thing I was looking forward to most in Winds of Change should happen now, but we miss it. It skips, and it pisses me off. So let's speak to Kaineng. Go into hard mode. Right, he says, it seems the Ministry of Purity feels their victory is at hand in their fight with the Ampha and the Jade Brotherhood. My squad was tasked with cleaning up the mess left behind from an Ampha ambush on a Ministry of Purity patrol, and I uncovered this official ministerial decree written by Reiko herself. You can read it yourself, but to summarise, it seems the Ministry of Purity has set their sights on the Tengu as their next cleansing project. The Tengu. Now, I'm no fan of the murderous Sinsali tribe, but Minister Reiko has declared all Tengu a threat to Kantha, even our allies the Angchu. Even with their ever-increasing authority, the Ministry of Purity cannot legally declare war on the Angchu tribe as the peace accord was issued by the Emperor himself. However, the Ministry plans on rounding up the Angchu under the guise of protecting them during the Ministry's coming campaign against the Sinsali. Then, once the Angchu are pacified and the Ministry of Purity is able to make their actions legal, the Angchu will be at the Ministry's mercy. And if there's one thing the Ministry of Purity is short on, it's mercy. You must take this official ministerial decree to Sol Onaclaw to warn her to not surrender to the Ministry of Purity. That will at least buy the Angchu time and give them a fighting chance. Okay. Where do I start? One thing here, they say, oh, they will manage to legally be able to declare war on the Angchu eventually. How? They don't explain this to us. They don't say how they're going to sway the opinion of the Emperor or anything like that. What, are they just going to do it through deceit? We don't know. I feel like that's something we should really find out. Also, they've just thrown this on us. We knew, okay, I haven't mentioned it. It's another thing I haven't mentioned. We kind of knew that the Tengu were going to be the next target, right? It's established. One of the big things that happens in Kantha, one of the big changes to the Empire is their xenophobia, how they kick out other races. Not just Tengu, I mean, the impression we get is that the Naga and all those other races are kind of kicked out too. But the Tengu are a big one because we hear all about them fleeing north at some point, and they all go and establish a new home within the Dominion of Winds. They build themselves a huge wall, and they go and live there, right, among the Tengu of Kryta, and potentially the other Tengu tribes that existed around Tyria up there as well. So this was a huge thing. I love the Tengu, okay, I really do. I really like the race, and the thing I was looking forward to most in Winds of Change was how this started between the humans and the Tengu. They've got a rich history here. For those of you who might not have seen Factions and you're actually watching this, there was a huge war, the Tengu Wars. They went on for ages and ages and ages over territory. And all the Tengu hated the humans. The humans were expanding into the land. I believe, if I still remember correctly, all of Xingye Island was originally Tengu territory. And they had their own enemies there as well. They had the Yetis to deal with. And the humans came and encroached on their land. And there were various tribes. There were 3 tribes. What was the other tribe? I can't remember anymore. But there were 3 tribes of Tengu. The Angchu, the Sinsali, and another one, I believe. And when you get to play in the bonus mission pack, you can actually see firsthand how these wars ended by playing in a mission called the Tengu Accords, and you actually play as Master Togo there, and this is what he became famous for ending these wars. And during this, the Sinsali vowed to never bow to the humans, but the Angchu, a treaty is formed with them, and that's why during Factions you can go to various places. You can go to their only real remaining town that we know of, at least, or that you can access in game. There might be more existing in lore, called Airy over here, and there's another place in the actual city called the Roost with some interesting story going on. In fact, when you finished Factions itself, in the final area at the Imperial Sanctum, you could speak to the Tengu of the Roost up in there. And as I was playing through Factions, okay, if you were, I'm not telling you to go do this, but if you're one of these people that's just recently watched that Let's Play, you'll know that most of my time playing through that, It was in anticipation for the Winds of Change. It was all about, I was just constantly theorizing about what would go on, and particularly with the Tengu. I made damn sure that I pointed out the Roost and the different characters and the little bits of dialogue that some of them had, where one of them in the Roost seems to sort of foreshadow events that might be coming. It was all so interesting, right, about how this was going to happen. Why were the Tengu, the Angchu in particular, going to fall out of favour with the Empire? And that's what I was looking forward to with Winds of Change Part 2. I didn't realise it when I was first playing through, but this is what is missing. It establishes, yes, now we're going to be against the Tengu, but they don't go into enough detail at all. Now, granted, there is one thing that I missed. Let's not find out if a Cage Tengu sings. I'm in. Granted, there is one thing I didn't realise when I played through this the first time, and that's this decree this guy's talking about. It's a bit weird. It used to happen all the time in early Canthan quests, in early Guild Wars quests, but it doesn't in later Guild Wars quests. They actually give this to you in your inventory, right? And you can actually read this decree. It's right here. See, and me and Mike kept hold of this right the way into part 3 in case we needed it, but you don't really. You can just delete it after the quest. So you do get to read this, which kind of alleviates things a tiny bit, but let's read. By the way, I really like this UI thing. They don't do this kind of stuff enough. This is cool. Members of the Ministry of Purity, we have made great strides in returning Cantha to its once proud state. The afflicted have been purged from our lands for good, and the Amphar and the Jade Brotherhood are on retreat, both far too crippled to stand up to the will of the Canthan people. Hurrah! It's time that we turn our attentions to another threat, to the prosperity of our people, the Tengu. The Emperor was weak to make peace with these savages, and he clings to that failed policy only out of respect for his slain half-brother's legacy. Alright, I'm sorry, I have to stop here. This failed promise, the Angchu have done nothing. They have done nothing. They have not antagonized the Ministry of Purity. And it's been established that the Ministry don't really care and they don't really need groups to antagonize them before they go out and target them, because they're kind of corrupt anyway. But still, I don't find this compelling. It just doesn't work for me. I'm sure I'm pissing some people off because they do like this, but it still feels like it's not enough. Anyway, he is blind in his grief, and I do like that they talk about the Emperor here, though, by the way. He is blind in his grief, and I have faith that time and the persuasion of the Ministry will lead him to see the error of his ways and allow us to rid our lands of the ongoing threat these beasts pose. Really now. In preparation for this, we must act now to pacify the Angchu tribe. While their true nature is clear to the Ministry of Purity, they still masquerade as... See, if I was a member of Kaineng Center, right, and I read this propaganda, alright, admittedly, this wouldn't convince me that the Angchu were any threat, because they're just saying, oh, we have to pacify them because the Emperor was wrong. Well, why was he wrong? Tell us why he's wrong. You haven't done that. You're just spreading bullshit, which I suppose does fit into the story of the Ministry of Purity, that their motives are the wrong motives, and that does kind of fit there. But I still feel like if you were just to look at the plot as a whole, that's still a bit of a cop-out, because they could have done something really compelling and interesting here, because this is going to be such a monumental thing, especially if the Tengu become a playable race in Guild Wars 2. This is going to be a big part of their story, and I feel like there's not enough here, even though they can kind of hide it behind the Ministry of Purity is simply corrupt, you know? Anyway, while their true nature is clear to the Ministry of Purity, they still masquerade as allies of the Canthan Empire, and thus must be handled with caution. The Ministry has set up a compound in the area colloquially referred to as the Roost, to serve as a temporary resettlement camp for the Angchu tribe, until such a time that more permanent options become available. I like that they mentioned the Roost there. This is crucial for the safety of our forces and citizens alike. I assure you that despite what the Emperor would have you believe, the Angchu are not to be trusted and would take up arms against us the moment we start our campaign against the Sensali. We know that the Angchu don't care about the Sensali. We've seen them fighting one another. We must ensure that they are pacified now, so that our dream of a greater, safer Cantha can come to fruition. Any resistance on their part will be treated as an act of war against Cantha, and our forces will defend the local populace at all costs. We are the people's fists when no others are strong enough to fight. We are the people's voice when no others are brave enough to speak. And we are the people's eyes when no others are wise enough to see the way out of this darkness. We will fight for the people of Cantha and for the future of our empire. I like the idea that Reiko is just hanging on to, just picking these new targets because she needs something, because she's scared of losing power. As soon as there's not a target, the Ministry of Purity can't exist, and maybe it's her own personal struggle with feeling like she has to be important with something, so she's doing it just so that this organization can exist, just so that she can feel like she remains in a position of power. I don't know. But yeah, okay, so I kind of had that rant building up a little bit lately. But right, so this quest can be very hard. Okay, it's just one encounter, but it's a very difficult one. Now, my tactic is, I will add them and then I'll show you them. my tactic is this, okay? You're going to have me, I'm just going with a standard build here, right? Actually, do I have save yourselves? I should unlock save yourselves on this guy. Just do some PvP. Anyway, right, so just my standard build here. I'm going to have Master of Whispers as a minion master, okay? I'm going to get rid of Veritas Aura. We don't really need that anymore. But instead, I'm going to add... Oh, I don't even have it unlocked. Well, maybe we won't. Maybe that's not going to be a problem. Okay, alright. Well, alright, let's just add Deathly Swarm, right? Okay, so he's going to be a minion master. He doesn't actually need Death Nova. I'll tell you about that later, but we can keep it in for now. I'm going to have Livia, my Necro Ritualist healer, and I'm going to have Razza, my Soul Twister, okay? Now... really, the key to this tactic is your minion master, and what I'm doing here is a very all-out tactic. Previously, I was using something vaguely similar to this, but the main difference was... Oh, yeah, I love that now. By the way, what used to happen when you'd go out of that portal was you'd be facing this wall, and you always had to turn right to go in, but now it just kind of faces you this way, which is really cool. But yeah, so this is a very all-out tactic. If I want it to be maybe a little bit safer, I might go with the Soul Twister, so if this doesn't work, I'll be swapping that SOS... Actually... yeah, I'll be swapping the SOS definitely for a Soul Twister. But here's the thing, right? When you get to the area, we're going to Airy, alright, which if you don't remember where that is, it's just there, right? What we're going to be doing on our way to the Airy is we're going to be fighting these Mantids to get minions. Now, in hard mode, you have to fight these because they'll aggro on you because they're a higher level. In normal mode, it's a very easy walk and you only have to fight a few Kappa on your way there. Actually, I think there might be a single group of Ministry on the way there too. But that's essentially what we're going to be doing. And yeah, you just have kind of one encounter to deal with in this quest. I'll try not to talk about it until we're actually there. And in fact, why don't we cut it? Yeah, let's cut it. Actually, wait, is there any news for me to say? Not really. I guess with the lore summary thing, just that there's, what, about 5 pictures done now? So I still stand by at least 2 weeks away, which is like 1.5 weeks now, maybe coming closer to 1 week away. But yeah, so there's really not much news there. So I'm going to cut it, guys, and I'll see you when I see you. Oh, actually, there is something to talk about, actually. Also, by the way, there's a Ministry of Purity group up here, and I tried to fight them with the build I just went out of the gate with, and I died against them, so I've just immediately swapped Razza for the Soul Twister, which should be better. But yeah, so there is actually something to talk about. Basically, what we've been doing here with Winds of Change is 1 episode a day. Well, I've been missing a few days, but I'm not going to be missing anymore, and I'll explain why in a second. But 1 episode, and in each of those episodes, we've been doing a single quest. Why am I dying against these guys? Come on! Livia, pull your finger out your ass. Fix me up, come on. Who's their healer here? I'm not going to wipe again, that's annoying. Wait, who is their healer? Oh, he's over there. Oh, does nobody have a res anymore? Oh, yes, Zandra does. Thank God for that. Right. Let's go kill him. So yeah, well, I'm doing 1 quest a day, right? And what that puts me on track for, as you guys know, I've been off of work for the past month, and at the end of the month, I'm starting work in another, in a completely different city, right? So I'm not sure about commutes or how much time I'm going to have for videos or stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. But what this means is, if I go on at the same track we've been going with Winds of Change, that puts me on the weekend before I start work. I finished Winds of Change, and finishing Winds of Change is kind of a bit of a milestone because that's everything. That's like Guild Wars 1 done. That's all of the content done. I've shown you most of the I mean, there are some quests that I haven't done here and there, but they're not. They're always the uninteresting quests. And since Nightfall, well, even in Nightfall, I missed some, like the Banana Scythe one. It took me a while to get back to. But like, that's pretty much everything done for Guild Wars 1, right? Which kind of means that it puts us a point on the channel that is kind of snuck up on me, and I didn't really think was going to be coming so quick, where Guild Wars 1 content's not going to be regular anymore, where I'll be in kind of the mode where I said whenever there's an update, then I'll be doing content. The 7th anniversary is actually on the same weekend that we can play the beta, so I'll be doing stuff for that, but then it's like Guild Wars 1's kind of going to be secondary to Guild Wars 2, and it's kind of been 50-50, and in some ways Guild Wars 2's already taken over because I've been much better at keeping up with Guild Wars 2 daily lately than I have with this, and I am sorry about that because I always wanted Guild Wars 1 to be the focus until we were done with it. But yeah, because it's so reliant on me doing 1 quest every day, I'm not going to be missing any more days because I don't want to be in a situation where I've started the new job and I'm trying to figure out all the beta stuff that I've done and be juggling this and Guild Wars 2 daily at the same time, so there's no way that I'll be missing any more days, and we're going to finish right before that weekend. But I'm telling you this because I'm wondering... I mean, I've had a few ideas from people before, and there's a few things that I've come up with before as we've been playing through. Like, for example, ages ago, and I've got a notepad file with all the things, I barely use it anymore, but that I used to use whenever I was, like, starting a new region in, like, a campaign, where I would sort of write in a list, hey, what am I going to do here? What's my general plan in quest order and stuff? And the only thing really left on that list is two things that I'd written for myself to do months ago, absolutely months ago. One of them was learn New Crichton, which I still haven't done, and the other one was somebody had mentioned guild halls at some point, and that there could be some interesting it's because I use Death Charge. Oh, I'm so stupid. I need to let the minions go in first. So one of them was guild halls, which, I mean, I could show you the guild halls, but I don't know how interested people are in that. Another one that very recently springs to mind that I was talking about was, who's the healer? There you are. Was, what was it? It was all the new henchmen and stuff, and all the dialogue they've got that's in the like Heroes Ascent and the guild halls as well. So I could do stuff like that. So what I'm wondering, guys, is once we've done this, is there anything you'd really want to see me do in Guild Wars 1? And I'm not going to start something like a PvP series, and I'm not going to do it all in hard mode. I've had some people say that to me before. No, that's just ridiculous. I'm not going to be doing anything like that. So the question is just, what do you want to see me do? Because we're really, otherwise it's just going to be sporadic stuff. And I'm happy to go to that point with Guild Wars 1. I am at this point, because we are finished, and we're just kind of waiting for the next bit of Guild Wars Beyond. But let me know, because like I said, it's kind of snuck up on me, and I haven't really thought about it that much. So yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's kind of marking a shift in the channel. We've been focused on one game, and I know the next game we're going to be focused on is in the same series. But why can't we kill this guy? I got so little damage on this team now. See, this tactic I'm doing here, by the way, isn't a tactic I did when I played through before. It's a tactic that... stop using Armor of Sanctity. It's a tactic that I've been reading on Wiki. A lot of people have been swearing by. It's very good. And I'm just hoping that it will work out quite nicely. See, now I've lost all my minions, which definitely isn't good for what I'm trying to do with this tactic. Wait, actually, hold on. How many minions have I got? He's got 4. That's probably not enough, though. Oh, look, a Tengu! Look, a Tengu assassin! Brilliant. Okay, he's got 4 minions. Loads of them are going to be dead, though. Oh, wait, no, because those are shambling horrors. I don't know. I'm going to kill some stuff on the beach, and then we're going to go to the area, okay? Or maybe I should go back to the mantids. I don't know. I'll see you guys in a second. Any Naga around? Oh, look at the little crabs. I never noticed these when we were playing factions. Okay, right, cool. We've got 10 minions, which is the perfect amount, really. And what we're going to do is flag our minion master, right into the center of all of those guys there, okay? And I'm going to read the dialogue, and hopefully this will go well. I'm going to make sure everyone else is back here with me. The ministry captain says, members of the Angchu tribe, by official decree of Minister Reiko of the Ministry of Purity, we are here to assist in the immediate relocation of your tribe. Relocation, says Saw on a claw, and that's the person in charge. We have no intention of leaving our home to the people who have lived in it for generations. Who is this Reiko, and why does she demand such things? For your own safety, Tengu, and for the safety of the rest of your tribe, the Ministry of Purity is launching a campaign to rid this island of the Sensali tribe for once and for all. We would hate for a member of your tribe to be mistaken for an enemy combatant. For the safety of your people, we have been ordered to move you to the mainland until the Sensali have been removed. Now, what's nice is the ministry will heal the minions, so you don't naturally need Blood of the Master. While all Tengu may look alike to you, says Saw, we have lived in peace with the Canthans for years, and the Imperial Guards have had no more issue confusing us with the Sensali as we've had confusing you with Grawl. Which is fair enough, even I can tell the difference. Be that as it may, we are not the Imperial Guard, and our orders stand. Actually, I'm going to pop one of these Tengu summoning stones. And our orders stand. Where was that? I've lost my place. Shit, this was not a good time to do that. Neither of us want to see any harm befall your peaceful village. The orders from your minister tell a different tale, we say. You, says the ministry. Captain, see for yourself, Saw on a claw of the Angchu. The Ministry of Purity looks at all Tengu as their enemies. These orders come directly from Reiko herself. You are being deceived. Saw says so it would seem. Your minister has no honor to use such tactics. If our death is what you are after, we will die as warriors on the battlefield. You dare take up arms against us? This is an act of war. We must protect Cantha from all these savage beasts. And in we go. Okay, so, right. You've seen what I can't really talk about the plot right now. Here's what's happened, right? You've got all the minions were flagged in the middle of this huge group, and the Ministry immediately targets them. The Ministry themselves have been casting Death Nova on them and keeping them alive, and they all blow up instantly, pretty much all the minions. I didn't see that happen because I was reading the text box, but I'm hoping a big satisfying explosion appeared on the screen there. And as a result of that, the first wave gets immediately annihilated, just destroyed straight away, leaving you enough time to come up on this group on the side and finish them off before they even come in. Really nice tactic, makes it incredibly easy. That went very, very fast. I probably made that look way easier than it actually is. A lot of people have trouble with that. Having my Angchu with me probably helped from the Summoning Stone. Did I notice that one of them was a Mesmer? Because I saw Panic was on them when I didn't actually have someone using Panic. Or maybe one of these Angchu with us actually was casting Panic. But yeah, that's kind of the deal there. And that can be a very difficult encounter. I had trouble on that even on normal mode. I'll hold my hands up. So that's a very nice way to deal with it, and I would recommend it to anyone. As you can see, even though I was struggling to kill groups before, because that's so planned out and they're nice and balled up, you get insane damage out of Death Nova instantly. And what's also nice is you don't have to flag, you don't have to micro up shelter and stuff, because if you do that, then the minions might survive a little bit too long, and it will kill the spirit straight away anyway with all the AoE going off, and it will be useless. Let the hero decide when to cast it, because there's that little bit of lag, and it actually works in your favour in this one instance. But yeah, there you go. So you save Saw. If Saw dies during that quest, it's game over, by the way, which is why it's so hard. He's kind of tanky. Oh wait, is that a she? I can't remember anymore. Who was the she? Wasn't there a she that became in charge? Because we actually murdered the previous leader here. Oh, it's amazing how times change. Anyway, right, so yeah, just make sure that person survives. That's my tactic there for it. That was the hard mode version, and as you can see, it doesn't have to be as hard as maybe you've been finding it. But yeah, okay, so, oh yeah, and then the flag, the quest marker points up here where Saw usually spawns, but I think you want to just speak to Saw. Wait, hold on, what? Who are we speaking to? Let's have a look here. See Saw for your reward. Why don't you have a marker over your head, Saw? Oh, okay, so, oh yeah, he does, right, okay, anyway. Thank you, friend of the Angchu tribe. We have won the battle, but I fear there may be many more to come. I shall dispatch a messenger to speak with the Emperor, and hopefully gain us some reprieve from the Ministry of Purity's persecution. But I fear it's only a matter of time before they return for us. At least now we have the chance to earn an honourable death in battle, and I can avoid the shame of imprisonment. So, there you go, guys. Wait, does he have another quest? Oh, right, and now look, my inventory's full, as always happens when you're playing Winds of Change. Let's just eat the egg, there we go. Oh, wow, it's still too full. Okay, let me drop the crappy truncheon. Are we okay? There we go. The next quest, I'm going to read the dialogue now because I can't be bothered to walk to Saw tomorrow at the start of the episode, so... Yeah, Saw says, hello friend, I'm sorry if I seem preoccupied, but my mind has been dwelling on some tragic affairs. Thanks to your assistance, our village is safe for the time being, but I can't help but think those who live on the mainland within the roost. If Reiko's decree spoke the truth, my kin are being imprisoned there, or awaiting a fate no honourable Tengu deserves. I simply cannot bear the thought of my people suffering at the hands of these zealots. Under normal circumstances, I would rally the strongest among us, sail across the sea, and rescue our people, or die trying. But with the Sensali stirred up by the Ministry's actions, and the Ministry themselves just waiting for the right moment to quietly dispose of our tribe, I cannot leave our home unprotected for that long. Perhaps you can help. If you could join me in a small rescue party, I could leave the bulk of my forces behind to protect the village. I do not want to put any more of my people in danger, but I also cannot abide by the Ministry's imprisoning of innocent Tengu. You want me to break into jail? No thanks. Oh no, you're right. We can't just leave them to such a fate. I'll help you. That's what we'll be doing next episode. Sorry that I had to kind of read that there, but otherwise I'd have to walk back out here. If you can understand. And me and these badass Tengu are going to wave goodbye. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Wow, 30 minutes I've been recording this episode. I suppose a fair bit of it we cut out. But yeah, okay, thanks very much for watching, guys. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow. See you later.